All right.
Okay.
Tracy, I'll let you get started.
So as far as enrollment is concerned, I can pull up the chart real quick. Okay,
Perfect.
so this week has been a really good week as far as enrollment goes. Yesterday, as you can see, we enrolled over 30 students. With year over year, it's looking a little bit off, but we're about 2% down right now. If we keep everything going the way it's been going and average about 25 students a day, Monday through Friday, we should be on track to surpass last year's goal. And that is even counting for potential drops when we do the non-payment drops for our students as well. As far as everything that's going on in the office, the adjunct counselors have been doing really well. Adding the adjunct counselors has helped us also be able to see more students and has contributed to our increase in enrollment numbers. We are seeing students on Fridays, as well as Monday through Thursday. So starting on Monday, we're going to do walk-ins for the month of August. So students can walk into our testing center, they can walk into the admissions office and kind of do a one-stop shop so that we can get as many students in as possible. I'm sure Joe's going to mention the marketing efforts that we're doing to promote that online and at the fair as well. So we're looking for some really positive responses there. And so that's pretty much what we're doing down in enrollment. As far as some CRM updates, we are going to use the CRM to help us manage our walk-in appointments. So it's a system called Engage, and it's kind of like the DMV where students enter into a queue and our counselors can walk out and greet students. And that should also help manage some flow with our walk-in appointments. So also with the CRM, we are looking to try to finalize the second stage of our build where Axiom is communicating information back from colleague to TargetX. So Jonathan, who is now our part-time contractual employee, will be coming in today so we can try to finalize some of that mapping and start with that second build of Axiom. That's what I have for today.
All right, very good. Thank you. Let's go to Gerald. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, everyone. So I have some wonderful news on the library. It's about 99% of the way done. The great news is we're going to be able to start moving books back into the library on Monday. So it'll be Monday, August 1st. So we're going to spend most of the next couple of weeks moving books over there, getting them on the shelves, working with Jack Burns and his staff to get everybody into the library. We're still feeling very confident that we will have all the books on the shelves by the open house, which is August the 12th. And Jack has assured me that we'll be ready and open for business by the first day of school. So we will be moving books in over the next couple of weeks. We've done a lot of staging work in Founders Hall. So we have a lot of books that are already out and they're in order. So all we have to do is put them on the carts and take them over. So we're extremely happy about that. I also want to give a real big shout out to my staff, the library staff, as well as our two student assistants, Rachel and Isabella. They've been making a lot of calls to students to help to get them registered. I think it's making a positive effect. We're going to talk with a lot of people, so those calls will continue to be made through the first week of school. And that's really all we're doing over here is just trying to assist admissions and enrollment in any way that we can. So.
Calls have been massive. Huge shout out to Jenny and to Jared for the work they're doing to assist there. Thank you. All right, let's go to financial aid. Dr. Culler, good morning.
Good morning. Let's see here. Do you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. So before I go over the Reconnect numbers very quickly, I just want to give a congratulations to Allison Gallardo for her promotion to the financial aid specialist. She's going to do an extraordinary job working with our Frontliner and Reconnect students. So we're very excited for her. I would like to thank Kim Latassi because with Allison's promotion, a lot of Allison's duties right now need to be shifted to other people while we look to hire the new financial aid assistant, and Kim is really helping us pick up that workload. And I would like to just give a shout out and a thank you to Andrew for his assistance in our department with helping us automate a few things that we had been looking to do for a couple of years. And with his technical expertise, he's really moved us forward in that. So awesome work for my team. Thank you. All right, very quickly, Scott, you asked me to give an update on some Reconnect numbers, just looking at this year compared to last year. So when we look at where we were at this point in time last year, Reconnect is up overall. So the very first line you hear is just overall Reconnect applications. This is the only area where it looks like 2021 numbers were a little bit higher than 2022. But what's very important to note about that is last year we had a lot of futures for frontliner students who applied for Reconnect, and they really shouldn't have because they were frontliners. So if you go to the second column there and look at our applications, if you take out those future for frontliners who duplicated their efforts, we're actually up for Reconnect applications overall. The number of eligible students we have for Reconnect applications are up a little bit this year compared to last. The number of students that we have awarded Reconnect to this year is up from last year, and the number of enrolled Reconnect students at this point in time is up over last year as well. Yesterday, Tracy Perry and I had looked over some of this data, and I gave Tracy Perry the list of all the students who have been awarded Reconnect at this point, because that means that they've gotten through far enough along in all of the admission steps for us to be able to move forward with offering them a financial aid package, but they haven't enrolled yet. So I've given Tracy Perry that list, and they're going to coordinate the outreach calls to encourage those students to get registered for the fall. So overall, Reconnect numbers are looking very, very good.
That is fascinating. Thank you.
Isn't it? And then you just wanted also, Scott, you had asked for a quick update on student connections. So one of the things that MCCC is preparing for is the end of the student loan repayment pause. So student loan repayments have been in pause since COVID. We've had multiple extensions on the student loan repayment pause. Student loans are supposed to go back into repayment in August. Who knows if that will actually happen, but we are trying to prepare for it because at some point this is going to happen. And there is a lot of data from research studies that have shown that when people have been on a repayment pause for even just 90 days, and this is what oftentimes happens if there's a natural disaster, right? If you're in a state where there's a hurricane, they'll put a student loan repayment pause, for 90 days while people get everything, straightened out. And what we know from all the research is that if you even do a 90-day student loan pause, default rates just skyrocket, right? Because people very quickly get out of budgeting to make their student loan repayments. So now we've been in a student loan repayment pause for well over 2 years. All schools are concerned about what this is going to mean when that repayment pause ends. And so Scott and I have been working with a company, Student Connections, that assists with contacting borrowers who are in grace period or in forbearance or in default or delinquency to help them get onto the correct type of payment plan that will be manageable for them. And that really helps with schools' cohort default rates. And so we do not want to be reactive at MCCC. We want to be proactive. We want to start working on assisting borrowers now before they would go into default, knowing that the student loan repayment pause is coming up, or hopefully is going to end at some point. So anyways, we've been working through that. Lots of paperwork, lots of meetings. Kelly Heiserling has been working with us on the contracts. But everything is moving forward nicely with that. And I think that we're going to be in a good spot to be able to help our former students enter repayment when the time is required.
Thank you very much. That's a nice update on that as well. All right, let's go to Joe. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here for this update. The first thing, let's see. First thing I want to share is an update on our catalog. Are you guys seeing that?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we are very close. We've had 5 sessions with them, training sessions, development sessions, long sessions, to transform this catalog. So what you're seeing is the 22-23 catalog that is currently it's been reviewed by all of the deans and everyone that needs to touch this thing all the way through. And then now it's just in final review by the task force of 4 of us, Tracy Vogt, myself, Michelle Gainier, and Annette Keebler, who are now going through to make sure that everything they said they were going to do, they did. And then we've also been trained on how to make changes once this thing goes live, which we're hoping is in just a few weeks. So we have to have our final fixes to them, and anything we see in here within probably the next, I think, 7 or 8 days. We have a deadline of the following, not actually, it'll be next Monday. So looking at this, I just wanted to point out a few things. I mean, it's a lot of the same stuff that's in the printed catalog, but very interactive. You can search the entire catalog. The first thing I wanted to look at is like academic programs. This includes all of our Associate of Science programs, Associate of Applied Science, Associate of Arts, Fine Arts certificates. But one of the things we've added here that wasn't available is our own transfer pathways, as well as the Michigan transfer pathway programs that will lead to Associates of Science degrees. So that's a nice new feature. I'll take an example here, the Accounting Associate of Applied Science. What pops up for every one of our programs now is career data. This is actually the Burning Glass data, but we had to pay a little extra to have it associated with our catalog through Modern Campus, which is the parent company of Acalog, the catalog software we're using. You can go in and change the location. You can change this to Monroe, Michigan. These numbers will change. You can look, instead of the 50th percentile, you can look at the 10th percentile, or what the highest is you can make. But here it tells you, there's an average salary of $45,900. There's 3,157 job postings in Michigan. In the past 3 years, this particular field has gone down by almost 5%, and it's projected to go down by 1.7 in Michigan. So not a bad drop. You can do this for every single program that we offer, with the exception of the transfer pathways. I did work with Curie so that we have the exact codes that they're using for that in institutional research for each one of our associate degree programs. So that's for every one of these. You look up nuclear engineering technology, projected growth of 1.1%. It did have some drop, et cetera, et cetera. So very cool tool for all of those. One of the things you can do here is, I want to look at what those general education requirements are. I go right to those general education requirements that are on the web page. If you wanted to look at each one of these classes, it pops right up in the screen for every single one of these. Couple other things to show is the courses tab. Again, you can search by prefix, you can add the code, et cetera, et cetera. You can search by keyword or phrase. And this is a listing of all of the courses that we have. They open right there in front of you. You're not clicking somewhere else. We also have the general education satisfiers. So it is really comprehensive. All of these were in the catalog on one page that you had to go through a PDF or go through a printed catalog and look for. They're all right here right now. So we are very, very close. We're going through with a fine-tooth comb. The rest of the stuff is very general in nature, but we do have all of the narrative stuff about transfer options. And then when we have an issue with a lot of different places where you may go, we have this menu at the top on every one of these pages where you can go back and look for things. So we're pretty happy, and we should have this up in hopefully a couple of weeks, and then we can make these updates ourselves going forward. And then we start a process called Curriculog, where it's workflow management, where instead of waiting and collecting all this information after every curriculum meeting, this stuff is happening. We will make an immediate copy of this catalog that will then become the following year's catalog that we can start working on immediately after we publish this. So very exciting stuff. So let me pull out of there, talk a little bit about what Tracy was mentioning. We have a social media campaign starting on Facebook here August 1st to talk about what you see here. These enrolling for fall semester during August, you just need to walk into the admissions office. We make it easy, no appointment needed. So we're publicizing that. We'll put a little bit of dollars behind that come August 1st all the way through the 21st. Well, not a little bit for Facebook. Then the amount we're putting behind is going to go far. So really publicizing this idea that you just need to walk in to the office and we'll be taking care of you and likely get you all the way up through registration in one visit if you bring your transcripts with you, depending on the situation. If you click learn more, it takes you to future students. This used to have different information that was very, general in nature that wanted you to click on the type of student you are. We don't even talk about that here for now through August 24th. It's just please come in. And then it gives you more details about you can submit your transcripts early, take the placement test, etc. But we can have you just walk in and we'll take care of you on the spot. So that's what Tracy had alluded to earlier. We've been helping with that campaign. And then one last thing that I wanted to show, because I know Tracy mentioned the CRM, and we actually submitted this for an award for, did I miss that? So we are sending these sticker sheets out along with our welcome brochure. And then we actually updated our certificate of admission. I don't have the welcome brochure handy, but I believe I've shown that before. So this goes out with a beautiful 4-color brochure that welcomes students, and then we've updated the certificate of admission. We're trying to work on getting this instead of just a more generic certificate along with the sticker sheet. And they actually started sending those out, I don't know, I think it was about 3 to 4 weeks ago as part of the CRM for every single admitted student. They get a brochure, the sticker sheet, and that really well done certificate of admission. And that's it.
All right, excellent. I just want to throw a shout out to everyone. Our enrollment for new students and continuing are both up right now, which makes sense. We'll talk more about the reconnect offline, but a huge effort by everyone. I want to also thank the people in instruction who are participating in that. Gerald, your team, and students over there who are participating in that. All the counselors who, Tracy, they're fantastic, who you've brought in from all the area schools, and that actually gives us a nice connection to those schools as well. So great job, everyone. I know I'm leaving tons of folks off. I just want to end with a big thank you to everyone. Big week coming up. We have the parade. If you want to participate in the parade, it's real simple. Joe, what do they need to do? Where do they need to show up and what time?
So they need to show up by about 12:30. We will, Scott and I will be meeting at the college and bringing over a college vehicle that he's over the weekend putting up some banners that we've purchased. So 12:30 at Navarre Field, which is over by it's the street over by the CVS on. That's Monroe Street. So if you turn down there, right by the football stadium, across from that football stadium, they're next to the State Highway Patrol. So just be there at 12:30. We have shirts down here. I believe Janelle will bring some additional shirts if folks need them, if they just show up and haven't stopped by our office. But I'm going to send out one more email on it. And but yeah, we appreciate any help. We've got a lot of parade walkers, and then we've got all the slots filled for the fair booth, with the exception, I think, of Saturday night, but our office will cover any slots that aren't covered. But if anyone wants to work Saturday night from 6 to 10, there's a couple slots open there, but we've had good participation.
All right, fantastic. We'll take it offline, and thank you.